Joining me today in the studio is my brother E. Canada.
What up, what up?
Also joining us today is a very special friend of mine. We have been friends since I let my tape rock till my tape pop, and she showed me how to fix it. The one and only Lady Ty.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, happy 2019, everybody.
Shout out to a new year.
2019.
Yes, y'all ready? Y'all excited about this year? How y'all feeling?
Positive vibes.
Come on, positive vibes only. That's how we starting.
That's what it's all
I'm
about.
expecting.
Hey, yes to the expectations. We about expecting. I mean, that positive vibes only, I think everyone is usually on that wave. And I kind of been on that wave for a minute. But, like, is that even realistic? Like, positive vibes only. Like, where can you go where there's only positive vibes only? Do y'all think that's realistic?
I think I keep the positive vibes in my head. I try to.
You try to keep it?
I try to. I think sometimes the negative try to get into the party, but I got real tight security going on up there.
Okay, yes, security.
So, yeah, if you ain't on the guest list, you ain't getting in. So yeah, I try to keep the positive vibes. Yeah.
How do you go about keeping positive vibes though? Like how do we protect our good vibe energy from the world around us? Because you know things go crazy like by the minute, especially now.
God. I think God is what keeps you positive. At the end of the day, I ain't worried about nothing but God.
I hear that. What
Trump,
you feeling like?
anything.
Why you gotta drop names though? You don't have to drop names. Like
I'm only gonna drop Trump next.
positive vibes only, man. Positive vibes. Positive vibes.
God's my leader.
I think what we have to do is actually set the standard.
Okay.
So if we set the standard and it's kind of like, well, I'm not going out in the rain today. So if it's raining, you say you're staying in. So even if you walk into a negative situation and people are saying negative things around you, you can be the person to bring the positivity to it. So you can help them, kind of guide them, like stir the boat. So I think kind of what E was saying was, like even just pulling the energy or, you know what I'm saying, whatever you just pulling the situation, stirring it back into a positive way, even if it's super negative, but you be the light in the dark place.
Oh, I'm all about the light. That's what we promote here. We're all about staying lit all day, every day. But I mean, do you guys believe that if you're around negative people, that it can affect you in a negative way?
Oh, definitely. I mean, one thing I remember from school is that they said that energy isn't lost. It's just it travels from, one.
It's transferred.
It transfers. Yeah,
Mhm.
it transfers.
Mhm.
Yeah. Shout out to Lady Ty for giving me the answer.
You just didn't hear when I said it. But shout out to her, great minds think alike.
What you got for A? What you got for A?
I believe that energy does transfer. Like I'm big on energy. I can literally feel when someone is negative. Like when I'm around someone that's complaining a lot, I feel it. Like it I don't know, I can't even put into words what it does to me, but it changes my energy. It changes everything around me. So I try my best to not surround myself with people that always have negative things to say. Like have any of you ever said something to someone, like confided in someone about maybe a dream, a goal, or aspiration, and they just hit you with the negativity?
Like they try to zap it.
Yeah. Don't you feel that? You're like, damn, why did I tell this person anything? They just killed the whole dream. Like, right now, because we're at the top of the year, we all have all these goals that we're trying. I mean, we're at 2019. We already have 2020 vision. We're trying to
New year, new me.
Right, new year, new me. So what do you guys think would be the best way to protect protect our vibe, protect our energy. Like with all the great accomplishments that we have ahead of us, what would you guys say is a great way to protect your energy in this new year?
Oh.
Let's not all speak at once.
So even to what you were saying, I would just say being solid, knowing who you are. Because if you know who you are, you know, whoever you are is going to speak to that atmosphere. So you don't have to change and turn into whatever's going on. Like, if he's saying some negative things, I don't have to be drawn into his negativity. What I can actually do is I can be the atmosphere shifter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you just continue to build you up and work on the greatness that's on the inside of you, by you being great, like your greater positivity, your love is going to be bigger than the negative, than the negative. Like when the sun comes out, like the darkness got to go. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody's down and dark, and so part of protecting that is really cultivating it, creating it, continuing to, whatever you feed is going to grow. So if you continue to feed that and do whatever you need to do in the morning to get your thing, to whatever your juice is flowing, however it works for you, whatever it is, if it's affirmations, if it's devotions, whatever, if it's prayer, if it's your favorite song, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that gives you what you need to have you be the best you, if you fuel up, you know what I'm saying? You have to fuel up like we have to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like our car needs gas. It has to drive. We have to fuel up. And once we fuel up, when we go into areas where it's dry, you know what I'm saying? Like if we had jugs of water, we filled up our water jugs and we go into a desert, we're going to be better off than the people that's been there that's dry.
Right.
So by us just being the water, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The light.
And the light, yes.
I totally agree.
How you feel? Speak on it, E.
I mean, I totally agree. Like for real, like I've encountered just some people that just ridiculously negative. Like all they know is negativity.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? I just can't let that inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that's what you're going through, and I pray for you, but I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that negative energy will wear you out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yes.
positive vibes only.
There are some people that, any conversation you have with them, all they're doing is complaining or and you're like, I can feel it. And it's like, I love people. I know a lot of people. I have a lot of friends and I have a lot of associates. But thankfully, I have more positive ones than negative ones. But there are some where it's just like, well, did anything good happen to you? Like, ever? So it's like, I just feel like I'm definitely at a place in my life where I'm very protective over my energy. And part of the way that I've, kept a positive outlook is by having a prayer life.
Awesome.
I discovered, I never thought I could pray. I don't know if anyone is that, like, I feel like I have ADD when I'm praying. Like, I'll be in the middle of a prayer, and I'm like, oh man, I wonder, did I watch that? Y'all start thinking about all the time, oh, I'm sorry, God, my bad. Let me come back and finish this prayer. You know what I'm saying? And so I always felt like I couldn't pray because I felt like I didn't know how to pray. But I encouraged myself that there is no right way to pray. Prayer is just a conversation with God. Like once I told myself that, I saw the difference not only in my prayer life, but in my life, period. Because I talk to God like he's my homie. I talk to him like he's my father. I talk to him like he's my homie. I talk to him like, listen, check this out, and it's helped me tremendously. And I just thought it was interesting because before I would always think that you'd have to always be in the church in order for God to hear your prayers. And I realized through my journey that's not so. Like, how do you guys feel about that as far as having a prayer life and not actually practicing a religion? Like, did you feel like that was possible?
I love this topic. I'm ready.
Well, then go ahead, let talk. Speak on it. Speak on it. Because I see you excited. You turning red. It's like,
share it.
yeah, go ahead, girl. You about to spin around. Let's go. Go ahead.
So, so much you were just saying. Even I just have to tell the truth because even when you was talking about the complainers, I used to be a complainer. Like that.
Girl, you know I was.
Yeah.
You heard all my complaints.
And so I love the fact that we have grown and elevated, you know, and matured. And that maturing, I really believe, came from us not getting any results and complaining.
Hello.
And so since there was no results,
What
we
was that
wanted
about?
results. Right. And so now what you just said, that was me too. I remember feeling like I couldn't pray. I thought that, God was some type of way that, I thought I was just kicked out of the whole God situation when I tried to read the Bible and just the things that I've done in my life. I lived a life of like an A+ sinner. So I have like 100 when it comes to sinning. I've made it. I got like a 4.0. So,
graduated from the School of Hard Knocks.
So I was like, dang, and so just a little bit of background, I grew up going to Catholic school, so you learn religion for real. Yeah, so you learn this religion, and what I learned was like, man, you gotta be a nun. And because I was, sexually violated at a young age, that crossed out the nun thing. So I was like, dang, how you get back in? I was like, this is kind of messed up. And I began to look at God and even be angry at him, like, why you would set me up like this? Why I couldn't even connect with you, And then I gotta talk to these people. So I thought that there was such a separation, but what you just spoke about with having a conversation with God, that's about, you can't have a conversation with somebody you don't have a relationship with. So, you know what I'm saying? So, having a relationship and connecting in is the key. And the fact that God is real, prayer is real, you know what I'm saying? And I believe that people don't know that the same way how I didn't know it because they didn't experience it. You know what I'm saying? The way it's taught religiously is that if you don't do this and this and that and this, and you think you're out of the good God club or whatever it is. I've tried to go to church and I've seen things within those walls that just wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? And I can't not tell the truth about it. So the truth is, whether you're in or out something, God created us. So if he created us, it's like, let's kick it back to our dad. You know what I'm saying? So I thought, what's really going on? And even if you can't fit in these constraints or these rules or these laws or whatever, do you still love me? Like, think about you having children. If your children don't do the dishes, does that love disappear? And the answer is no. So, you know what I mean? I love what you said, and that's what prayer is. It is a conversation with God, and it's just dope to even get results. It's just about us starting with the relationship. So I believe if we start with knowing that God loves us first, that we can talk to him, then we can have a conversation. But so many people feel like how I felt. Like I felt like I was damned to hell. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way that the churches that I went to, you know what I'm saying? The way they presented, everything was pointing at the center. They was making, I was like, I ain't never going to get it together. Forget it. So I went to live a life of, where I was accepted in the world doing whatever. And just like, all right, God, well, you knew I was going to do what you
you made me.
So I just think that's the key is relationship. But who wants to be in a relationship with somebody that they don't know, that they don't know, and that they don't believe loves them? So once we can know that God loves us right where we are, we can speak more about that later, but I'm hyped.
Well, actually, to piggyback with what you're saying, you actually go into the strip clubs and pray with strippers, don't you?
Yes.
Tell us about that a little bit, because, I've always been interested in this. I'm like, you going to the strip club? Like,
yes.
Girl, you really praying? Like, what's happening? Let me know. I'm not judging.
Yes, so shout out to Reflections of Love. That's ROL. It's a ministry started by my homegirl, Kim Rice, and she's so dope. What we do is we go in and we just share love. And so when we go in, God has opened doors for us. We've spoken with the club owners, and we have access, so we go to the back and we pray with them.
So the owners let you?
Yes. Oh yeah, we're not sneaking in. This is all open doors.
I thought she was in the parking lot like, psst, come here, blink if you scared. Like, I thought it was one of those kind of things. Wow. Oh, that's
so
okay.
we walk through the journey with them with no judgments, no strings attached.
Nice.
And so basically what we do is we take in gifts, reflecting the love of God. So we're not like, hey, get this Bible, hey, get this Jesus, hey, if you don't do this way. We just going in to represent God because we believe that he's loving and amazing and that he's loving. So if he's loving, love is just not a word, it's an action.
Yeah.
So where's the demonstration of his love? So we go in, sometimes we take fuzzy socks, apple pies,
Aw.
different gifts. This past Christmas we went in and we took slippers and gifts, and everything has like a little note on it, and it's, a scripture, and just reference to them to let them know that no matter where you are, God loves you, just what we talked about.
Right.
And there were some people in there, we asked them if they had children, and they said yes. So we took the ages of their children, and we went back out to the car and brought gifts back.
Oh.
And so it was just amazing because we were like, how are we going to do this? But it's just a beautiful process, an awesome ministry. It's like being the hands and feet, you know what I'm saying, of Jesus, and just doing the work, showing it. So yeah, Reflections of Love is reflecting the love of God, not just talking about it, not doing it for a picture, not doing it because
Showing love, real love. Like,
yeah.
I'm coming to you.
Yeah, and it's
Right.
like, and every other month, so we go in the third Thursday, and it's just
That's dope.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten any kickback from one of the strippers? Like, get out my face? 'Cause that's what I'd be nervous
actually,
of. I definitely would.
No, one of them did my lashes.
What?
They showed me how to do eyebrows.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
so
perks of the strip club.
yeah, so we have relationship. We built relationships, and some of them, contact. They reach out, we talk, we pray. I mean, and it's just beautiful. And many of them, have journeyed on and actually left in transition.
Wow.
And it's not because of anything. It's because God's love showed up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we just imagine being somewhere that you just doing what you got to do if you hustling. Whether you was a bank robber. I mean, I love to kick it with the bank robbers.
You've gone into prisons.
Oh yeah, yep.
You just reminded me. You've gone into prison. Yeah, this girl is ill. Like, she goes in the fire.
Men's facility, yeah.
Yeah, the men's, but not even the women's facility.
Yeah.
The men's facility. Listen.
Yeah, and Thanksgiving I actually prepared for the halfway house. Me and a good friend of mine, shout out to Sharonda, we prepared a full meal. The church wasn't able to do it for some reason, the timing and the budget, but we discovered that they did not have real turkey on Thanksgiving.
Wow.
And when we tried to get it done through an organization, it didn't work. But we was like, you know what, every need will be met. We'll do
Wow.
it. And we put our funds together, and we took them in a
Wow.
whole Thanksgiving dinner. And it was dope. They read it, and that was like the first time that I was in it, with the Bible open. I had the chef hat on, the Bible.
Yeah, but she cooks too. I don't know. Just in case y'all didn't know, she cooks and bakes and all that good
But
stuff.
yeah, so it's pretty dope. Just again showing love to people, because that's what God is about, love.
Yeah, that's dope. What you think, E?
I'm just amazed that she goes to all these places. Thing about it is people always throw like a negative, people always paint a negative image of certain people. You know what I'm saying? I remember I was working on a documentary with porn stars, and I remember once I really got to know them, I'm like, yo, these people aren't who you think they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they real people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to going and speaking to the strippers and the prisons and all that. That's definitely a good look, because I mean, you never know what position that you could be in. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people locked up, a lot of people that have been locked up. It's like, that could be anybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't, look down, and we all need prayer. So
We're all one decision away.
Yeah. And some of us made that decision and just ain't get caught.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
yeah.
I think it's really dope. I mean, if you have a church home, where you feel accepted and there's fellowship, I think it's always amazing to have a church home, to be able to praise and worship and pray with people that feel like family, because that's where love is. But I think it's also important for people to know that you don't have to only go to church to feel that love. And that's why it's so awesome that you have taken the initiative, you and your other friends that go to the strip clubs and the prisons have taken the initiative to go meet these people, because you're bringing church to them. And that's really, I believe that's what we are all here to do, no matter what religion, you're in, or whatever you choose to praise or whatever you choose to pray to. I feel like we're all here to show each other love. So that is totally amazing. So hats off to you for that, especially because you are demonstrating love.
Wow.
You're not just speaking it, you're demonstrating it. And which goes back to everything that you said. Team love. Shout out to Team Love.
That's dope. And if I can, because when I was doing the things that I was doing, a lot of things, selling drugs, involved with somebody else's husband, living an entire life opposite of what I'm living now. When I was living I'm living my best life.
When you was living that life.
When I was living that life for
using
real,
the world.
Yeah, I was trying to escape, and I was using so many different things, but the God that I served came and met me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't believe in all of that stuff, and I was over it, and I was trying to make my own way, and I was, had a lot of pain and a lot of things going on, but he met me, and because he came to meet me, I know, what I'm saying? It's like, what was done for you, you do for others.
Right.
So now I'm like charged and commissioned to go meet the rest of the meets.
Right.
Because nobody came to me when I was in the hood drinking, when I was young on a park bench. Nobody prophesied to me. There was no apostles,
When
pastors,
you were at the
preachers
cutting parties
throwing
with the
up.
OEs.
Yeah, nobody. It was like, and so my thing and my cry is
Cute, but we
like,
got down.
and so my cry is like, where, this may hurt some people's feelings, but my cry is like, where's the church?
Right.
Oh, they down there in the wall, like I got to go in there. But like, what if I'm so, stressed out and so possessed or whatever, I'm so low down on the inside that I can't even get myself in that building when anybody come. You know what I'm
Or
saying?
I don't feel like I'm worthy enough
Hello?
to go in the
and
building.
then I don't have stockings.
Right.
Oh, never mind.
right.
Somebody will preach about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the gear. I don't have the gear. And so it wasn't the act. So it was, and even though I did pull it together and go in there, and I just felt crazy. And I was told about a membership fee, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. I still got a membership. I don't even, I went to the front of the
First of the year
altar.
gym membership.
I went to the altar so many times and left out empty. So what I'm saying is I tried that practice thing, that whole thing, and it didn't work for me as
For
a
you,
practice.
right.
But when, I was met in my home and I experienced an encounter. So, that's what my prayer is, because no matter what anybody believes in, I can talk till I turn blue, I can read you whatever, but until you have an encounter with truth, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you experience that love for yourself, no matter what anybody's saying, it's going to sound like blah, blah, blah. Because people tried to tell me, I had cursed my friends out, telling me about scriptures when my husband was locked up and my kids' clothes wasn't fitting them and I needed things. I'm like, where is God at now? Oh, bye.
Right.
Because I had a need and it was like, he's not meeting it. And so I was angry.
It was selfish.
And I was angry at God. So I was like, man, forget it.
Right.
Forget it. Forget you. Forget your people. Because they just trying to get money to do what? I don't, so yeah, I just really love this topic, but God is a God of love.
Absolutely. I believe that. And like I mentioned before, we actually bonded, of course, through hip hop.
Yes, we really did.
Well, back in, right, shout out to hip hop. Was
Great.
it kind of like, 1991? What year was that? Shout out to IS 192.
Yes,
Sixth grade.
Queens.
R.I.P. Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Yes.
And Mr. PA.
And shout out to Miss McMillan. Miss
Yes.
McMillan, yes, 6th grade. Yes, we still remember you guys. Yes, 192 on the map. So we bonded off of hip hop, and you have now started a movement, sort of say, Prayer for Hip Hop. Tell the people about Prayer for Hip Hop, because this is like so dope. This is like so dope and so needed. So needed in hip hop.
Well, I'm excited. So, so I'm Lady Ty, and that name got birthed from me being involved in hip hop at a very young age,
Right.
knowing events, doing marketing and promotion. So I've been part of the music industry and hip hop, ever since, like Rochelle just said, 91, even before then, but just been a huge lover of hip hop to me, because hip hop told stories in the community about, you know, our life, things that we experienced, and hip hop used to be super duper real. You know, now I know people add some things into it, but you know, it's cool. But yeah, so hip hop, or you know, hip hop is like testimonies. I never knew what a testimony was, but it's somebody saying, you know, what they're going through, and they're sharing their part. So I was able to relate. Hip hop gave me hope. So I love hip hop. You know, you can put on a song and you be like, yes, you're going through this. Somebody tried to play you. You gonna rap it out. And, you know, so you know, and hip hop just it filled my life. Yes.
Medicine.
So hip hop was my medicine. That's what I lived by. And it was amazing, because even as things in my life happened and things changed and I began to find God and go on this journey, I was like, well, God, what we gonna do with hip hop? You know,
I still need that.
Yeah, like
I need that boom bap every now and then. I can't give up the boom bap.
Yeah, like, what's happening with hip hop? And he was like, you know, you're gonna pray for hip hop. So I'm like, pray for hip hop. And so the combination of the two is really, you know, I go under like the title Holy Hood, which means the hood people think I'm too holy, and the holy people think I'm too hood. So I have no place to fit.
I can relate.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, here she what? But the thing is, I'm actually bridging the gap. So because I'm a trailblazer, they have never seen this lane before. So it looks a little interesting. Like, what is she doing? Praying for Snoop Dogg and Bow Wow. Well, these are people. They have, you know, they
are going through real things.
Hello, right? So somebody, you know, two people married, Cardi B, Offset. You know what I'm saying? Praying for their marriage, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Praying for whatever God has for them. So just the same way how you talked about good vibes, prayer, all that stuff, wishing the best, praying the best, saying the best, speaking the best over people, and helping them get out that dark place. And I believe, you know, that we just not in this earthly realm, that there's a spirit realm. So even if I don't see them or know them, I've worked with many of them when I used to throw events in New York. You know what I'm saying? And I used to be, and I still am like one of them. I'm a human that different things can happen to. So when I see them going through, they may not have the connection that I have, like that relationship. So I feel like I can jump in and intercede, because I'm an intercessor, and I can be like, and that's just me, somebody that prays. You know, like, you know how people jump in a fight.
Yeah, you're a prayer warrior.
Yeah, so so
you're ready. You're ready.
You know, funny words. Yeah, so,
On site.
Yes, it's on site. Oh, I got you. I got to pray for that. I got you.
So intercessors that homegirl that just jump in your fight.
That's right.
So I'm jumping in.
Because I'll be calling you sometimes. I'm like, I got somebody. Okay. I'm going to call my friend. Watch. She got me on the prayer. Anytime when people come at me, I'm like, I got to pray for you. I got you. Yo, Ty, let me tell you what happened.
and it's all of this all good. So that's what prayer in hip hop is, because I noticed that you know, and I'm just in Revelation 12:11, there's a scripture that says they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimonies. Like people can overcome by testifying, but the deal with hip hop is we're not kind of testifying, we're repeating something, and then we staying in this cycle. So I'm like, I'm broke, I ain't got it, you cheated, you know what I'm saying? So if we keep repeating something, then that's what's going to manifest. So now hip hop needed an intercessor to come in, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that might be what happened, you know what I'm saying? But now, you know, Tupac, no more, I see no changes. No. Let's talk about something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so now, so I creep? No, I don't really want to creep. I want to be with somebody. Like, no, why do I creep? Because I feel like nobody can fulfill my needs. But no, there is somebody, like, where they at? I don't know. But let's pray about that. Let's get to that point. And even Benny Siegel's song, I can feel it in the air. You know what I'm saying? He just stressed out. My mind's playing tricks on me. All of these things are cries for help. And it's like nobody responded to the cry. Come on, look at that Mobb Deep song. Sometimes I wonder, do I deserve to live? Am I going to go to hell for all the things I did? He's asking a question. Like, and nobody was like, excuse me, let me offer my pew. Let me come out of the pulpit. No, hip hop, you're not gonna go to hell. Like, let's talk about it.
I feel like they're connecting with people when those lyrics are written. They're connecting with people, because I truly feel like music is a ministry. Okay, music is definitely a source of ministry, and so it is important to pray for these people, because they're actually serving us. Not so many people look at it like that, but if you think about it, they're giving up their lives to serve us.
Open it up all the way.
So when all these people spend time bashing them, and I mean, how does that help the greater picture? We enjoy these these people that are in the industry. We enjoy the music. We actually feel like we're involved in their lives.
They can't even go to the grocery
But
store.
they can't, right, they can't go to the grocery store. They can't do certain things that we have the luxury of doing. And I say the luxury because they can't do it anymore. So now the simple things that we do is a luxury, right? But yet people, when they're down, people take that opportunity to bash them. I don't understand that part because these people are serving us with their lives. So I do believe that prayer for hip hop is something that is definitely needed because it goes back to mental health also. Like their mental health is important. Do you agree, Eric? Like,
Oh yeah,
how you feel about it?
I feel like social media has definitely changed the game.
Absolutely.
Because in the era of hip hop that I grew up in, we didn't know who Rakim was married to.
True.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't know, what kind of car, LL drove unless you seen him driving down Farmers Boulevard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, like now, it's like these rappers are kind of forced.
Yeah.
to-
We didn't have pictures of people creeping and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If somebody was in a place they wasn't supposed to be at, there was no camera phones
Right.
that showed them there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we never knew. But to go into hip hop in 2018, you got to sacrifice your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't think we realize what these people are giving us. Like,
Right.
they're giving us everything they got.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no personal life. Like, they have to give up their personal life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we want to see you post. We want to see where you at, what you doing. You know what I'm saying? Speak on this, speak on that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad because, like, I look at certain people like Kanye.
Mm.
Like, Kanye, and speaking of, like hip-hop music and the connection with spirituality, to this day I say that Jesus Walks is the best gospel song
Yes.
ever read.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, like, y'all might not categorize it as gospel, but he was preaching
Yeah,
on it.
he did.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
surely
He
was.
was preaching.
I got some gems off that song.
Yeah.
I surely did.
So, I look at 2018 and what these rappers are sacrificing for the love of the culture, and it's like, man, like, can you cut them some slack?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, like Kanye is a dope producer.
Mhm.
I don't care what anybody says. Like, he's a dope producer.
Absolutely.
He might be going through some, mental health issues right now, but that doesn't take away from who he
From
is as
his
a
work.
producer.
Right.
He's still, ridiculously talented. And if he was a producer back in the day, you would never know
Mm-hmm.
what he was going through.
Right.
Because of social media, okay, he going through this with his wife, he
Right.
going through this, he going through that. We didn't know what Marley Marl was going through. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We didn't
Right.
know what Large Professor was going through. But because of social media, we're seeing all this.
Right.
And it's sad because we don't respect these people's lives. And I think we need to show a little bit more respect.
Yeah, absolutely. And to piggyback off the Kanye thing, I found it interesting that everyone, we're aware of, his mental health situation, but yet they talk about it and poke fun of it.
Right.
That part I didn't get. It's like they're bashing him when they've already said that he has a mental health issue. Now, I don't even want to get into all of the Kanye thing because it's deeper than I can ever imagine. So I'm not even here to talk about to personalize it. But one thing that what you said triggered me to think about, Eric, was even Cardi B came out this week, I believe she's put out a video. She was like, she used to wonder before she became famous how famous people would take their own lives and what are they stressed about? She couldn't eat, she couldn't pay her rent. She should feel like taking her life. Not a famous person, she said, but now that she has fame, she gets it. You understand? So that was concerning to me because it was like, see, this is what we're talking about. Sometimes when you get to the height of your career like that, it comes with so many things. And again, that is why it is so important to have positive people around you. So important to be prayed up. And if you can't pray for yourself, to have people that can intercede and pray for you, and people that actually still see you as human.
No judgment.
Right. They still see you as a person who needs prayer, like that has emotions. You know, I truly believe in definitely keeping positive surroundings and being prayed up. There was also something else that I wanted to say, and I lost it that quick.
Well, one thing too, I think a lot of people like they throw a negative stereotype on mental illness.
Mm.
Because I honestly feel if, and I'm gonna just speak for my people, if you're a black person in America, you're dealing with some stuff.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with some stuff. You know, and I mean, honestly, that's kind of where prayer comes in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We all dealing with something. You know what I'm saying? It's just how we deal with it.
Right.
You know, like, I don't think Kanye is in a place right now where he has the people, like you said, around him
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, can help him get out of that. But we all in a place, you know what I'm saying? And we all need help. And it always gets me to see people talk bad about him. I'm like, but you got your issues that you're
Right.
dealing with. It just ain't on social
And
media.
who's going in to
It's on
help
TMZ.
him? Who's going in to help him?
Yeah. Everybody just, first thing is go at him.
Right.
You know, take shots.
Judge.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, we can't judge. Like I
Right.
said, we all going through something.
Right.
So, you know, shout out to Kanye. I hope he gets better.
It's about the people that actually are willing to go in the dark place
Yeah.
and be the light.
You know, I'm doing some acting now.
Hey.
Mhm.
And involved in that, a lot of different things come with that. And I'm in a lot of different interesting people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm learning a lot about me and judgments that I thought that I didn't have, that I actually did. You know what I'm saying? And it's amazing when you can get corrected within yourself. You know what I'm saying? When God
I
check
check
you.
myself daily.
Yeah, real,
What's your
like
problem?
check, like hold on, you know, and I've experienced just being around different people who have, like, you know, and I love everybody. That's my
Mhm.
homegirl Brenda G saying. But you know, but I do, but I was just around something that I thought that I wasn't equipped to be around. Let me
Mhm.
just put it like that. So I was like, you know what, let me get up out of this. Like this
Right.
is not. But the arena that I'm sent to is the arena that I've always been in. So I'm there to chill and be who I am. You know what I'm saying? If I'm integral, if I am who I am, this means I'm this way in front of the cameras, off the cameras, all the time. So if I'm really solid in my faith and my belief in loving everybody and
Mhm.
doing what I'm just talking about, like reflecting love, I can reflect the love in the strip club. I can reflect the love in the jail. But how about when it comes to, you know, there's an area, you
Right.
know what I'm saying, that I might say, well, you know, I'll pass on that. I'll let somebody else do that.
Right.
But when we're growing and maturing, you're going to be stretched. And I was stretched like this, the end of this 2018, and I was just around some people that I'd rather kind of skip out on, you know. And but God was stretching me to say, can you love them? Can you be their friend? Because I want to be their friend through you. And I was like, well, I don't wanna, you know, I'm like, God, I think if I kind of hang with them too tough, I might go backwards. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
right.
now here I have a spirit of fear. Now I'm scared. You know what I'm saying? So it was, and I just wanted to share that because I think a lot of times when people hear prayer and they might even start to listen and they might be like, oh, you know, and they might want to, you know what I'm saying? They'll hear a prayer and they'll scare you away and back up. And it's like, no, prayer is for you. It's just uplifting you. You know what I'm saying? Going in the spirit realm. Don't get afraid. Don't back away. And it's only like we're releasing the love of God. We want to let you know that you're loved, that you belong, that if you ever get in a dark place, that there is a light that can lift you up. Because once you lose hope, it's a wrap.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So you need hope. And once it's like being buried underneath something. So you need to know that things can get better.
Mhm.
And we all have a time of weakness. That's why we're human. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's what's dope about serving something that's better than
You know who's demonstrating that now in the industry that I must give respect to? Diddy. We know that Diddy is, you know, going through the loss of Kim Porter. May she rest in peace. And what I've found is, and I'm going to be honest with you, when he started posting like videos of the kids and things like that, I I was like, whoa, wait, is this too soon? You know, like, why are we doing this? But then I thought about it and I was like, this is demonstrating so much strength and it's demonstrating the power of prayer. Like, he even posted something, I was trying to look for it, but I couldn't find it right now. He posted something that said, you know, basically that he is going through dark times, but he's going to basically put it out there and let it be seen by the public, just so everyone can see him through his breakdown, but see the power of God work through him. And I thought that was an amazing, it was a simple post, but it was amazing, and it said a lot, because him and his family are demonstrating the power of love and prayer. And I really give much respect to them. And, you know, because when that tragedy happened, I was taken aback by the way certain platforms were, you know, certain things that they were saying, which I'm not going to get into because we're not going to highlight those things.
Right.
But it was like, dang, can these people just mourn in peace? Like, this is serious,
Right.
you know? And I mean, I felt like someone in my family passed, you know? So to see him demonstrate to the fans, the public, and everyone how him and his family can move on through the hurt and pain, man, hats off. Hats off. I love it. I love it.
Shouts out to Diddy. I love the fact that he had even begin, you know, dropping some little jewels on us on Instagram about, you know, stuff about God and being positive and being great. And I love that, and I believe that God is using him hugely, I say, even in prayer and hip-hop, because he represents hip-hop, going through so many tragic deaths and so many, just being, you know, from a party promoter to, you know, his elevation, like the way his whole thing took off and took place, like just going to the next level of greatness is proof of how you can start from where you are to be great, right? Him believing in himself, but now with all eyes on him, like God actually gets the glory out of his life by him highlighting God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just so beautiful because now everybody's been watching him through the Biggie thing, through
All kinds of things.
yes, through his whole life.
Right.
And no matter what other people may say about the lifestyle, it doesn't count because now God is shining on him,
Right.
giving him strength, and he's leading more people than a church service. I mean, right now, seriously. And if God came for the lost people, and if everybody wants to call lost, and the hip hop people, like whatever people are saying, he's got that congregation on lock. So shouts out to what God is doing through him because it encourages me too. And I think we all felt the same way, Rashad. I was like devastated even to do the prayer. I didn't want to do, come on, prayer and hip hop. This is the time that the hip hop prayer is needed. And so, that I think I love that he has been vulnerable enough to share it with us because that's amazing. I mean, you have people that go through things and they fall under, you know, rest in peace, Mac Miller.
Yeah.
You know, and we can do the whole RIP list for so many others, but things don't have to be that way. I'm sick of people really saying, you know, oh, well, no, it's not, oh, well, because you could have done something. And prayer is a key thing that we could do without even being next to somebody. We can go in the spirit room and pray for their strength.
Believe that.
Definitely.
Eric, you have anything else that you want to add
Oh
to
man,
this?
this has been
I feel like you're in deep thought over there,
Oh
sir.
no, man, this whole conversation has been extremely deep. I think also too, a lot of people don't really understand what prayer is. Because
Speak on it.
I'll say this, I probably pray at least 100 times a day. And people are like, well, how can you pray 100 times a day? I mean, sometimes, to me, just thank you, God.
There you go.
It's a prayer. You know what I'm saying?
Gratitude.
Like, yeah, like, you know, like, it don't have to be this whole speech, you know, it don't have to be, you know, written and
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, God help me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
For real.
That you know, sometimes I might say that at least, you know, 10, 20 times a day. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the type of day I'm having.
Okay.
So, you know, Yeah, like I think a lot of people understand with prayer, it's not, it's nothing like rehearsed or long. Or it can be something simple.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think a lot of people got to realize that, and also too, one thing I've learned is start your morning off with a positive thought.
Yes.
Like every morning when I wake up, I try to find some kind of, like I save like different things on my phone, like different like quotes and stuff like that, and I'll go on social media. First thing I post every morning is some kind of jewel. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just because I know that at the end of the day, I'm gonna counter a lot of negative.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? Let me already fill up the cup. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
So that way, I'm ready for whatever comes, later on throughout the day. So,
That's right.
That's dope. I think what E said is super dope, like commanding your morning, like you telling the world
Set
what's
your
gonna happen.
intentions.
Yeah,
Yes.
like listen,
Mhm.
today is gonna be good, great, and amazing. Money gonna attract to me. Come on.
That's
It's gonna
right.
be good. But even with prayer, it really is a heart issue. Some people like, Lord, please, and go into this big old speech, and you got this fancy talk going on, but in your heart, you mad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, like, I have times where I'll be like, God, what you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is,
They trying to play me out here. What you want me to do?
Yeah, so it's like, where I have found the most success in my life in just being real. You know what I'm saying? And just telling the truth instead of like, Lord, I pray my enemies, but no, man,
No.
God, revenge, do it.
Yeah, I'm like, God, you ain't done with me yet.
So
I'm gonna need you.
back.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to intercede, God.
And I think the dopest thing about even this, if people just listening could just begin to even just have a conversation with how you really feel. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Just be like, God, look.
Tell me why you mad, son. Tell me why you mad.
They was on, I gotta speak on it. They said I could just kick it with you, so I'm kicking it with you. And how I kind of started prayer was, I'm like, God, if you real, I mean, I know people gonna say that's wrong, but I did that 3 different
I
times.
dare you.
I did
Don't
that.
dare you.
I did that 3 times as a non-believer, and somebody that didn't believe. I was like, if you real, then you know what these court papers say. So we finna go to court, and actually, God turned it around. I mean, I was
Yeah, what?
right, and then I got to another jam.
Right, like,
if
do it
you
again.
real, then, you know what I'm saying? And so at some point, he just
We're not
showed
joking
up.
on God, though. We're
Yeah.
not joking on God.
Mhm.
Sense of humor. God got a sense of
God got a sense of humor. We got it.
Yeah, and this is my real life. So after
Right.
all of those little things that I did, because I wasn't playing. I really needed it to be fixed, but I
Right.
knew I couldn't fix it, and I'm just like, let me try this God thing. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And he
Let's
showed
try this
up.
God.
I did,
Right.
and then later on, you know what I'm saying? I got dipped in some water, and then I started hearing voices. I'm like, man, I ain't even drinking or smoking. What like I wasn't going crazy when I was crazy.
Right.
I'm going crazy, but yeah. But so after the encounter, I just began to kick it with him more, and so that's pretty dope. But that's what I think anybody listening to this, just the point is you can kick it with God. You can speak to him. Like, we got to speak on it. Speak on what's on your nerves. Like, if you're mad about something your aunt, uncle, parent, somebody did, be like, that hurt me. I don't know how to get over it on my own. God help me. If we ask him for help, then we can get some help. But when we don't ask and you stubborn, that's what it means, ask and you shall receive. Like, when you so prideful that you won't even say that you need something, then God's like, okay, let me know how that's working for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so no matter what, you make this big old fake prayer, have a conversation about how you really feel. One of my illest prayers was I say it, I cursed in it and everything.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
A while ago in 2008, my ex-husband tried to murder me, and I was planning his murder back. You know what I'm saying? And so in the midst of that, I know, right? We just took her. Yeah, but just to share a little bit of light, and I didn't know how to pray. Of course, I was doing a whole bunch of other things, but at that time, I was like, man, I think this is messed up. I'm gonna have to go to jail. I don't want to be gay. This was pray. I know.
Right, I know. That's cool. It was real, though.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like it. I still liked the men.
If I go to jail, I gotta be gay.
Who's gonna be the man? stand
Right,
there.
right.
So this was in the midst of me, like, I gotta get a knife, I gotta do this, and then I'm planning it, I'm gonna be in there forever, because I watch TV shows that tell you when you premeditate. You
Right.
know, so anyway, that was never the case. It didn't have to happen that way, but it didn't. But the point was, I was crying out, and I didn't know how to cry out. I wasn't gonna pray, because I was like, man, God, you ain't answer the prayers, because this is what it's come to, so
Right.
forget that. Now I'm like, man, I can't believe I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to be, you know, that. I like lobster tail and buttered potatoes. I promise you, this is what I said.
Yo.
And I heard in between, like how these headphones are on my head.
Yes.
I heard in between my head, it was like thunder, like a boom, boom, boom. I'm not making you go to jail. I was like, whatever. I don't know who just said that. I said, well, let me just tell you something. That's not God.
Right.
Because it's way too late. I'm definitely going to jail.
I'm definitely
Because I don't know how to get away with this. He's like 6 feet, and I'm going to roll him in the car. Like, I don't even have no friends to help me
Right.
to do this. And
Yeah, 'cause you wasn't gonna call me. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I do a lot of things, but I'm not doing that.
so I heard that voice, and I was like, I don't know what that was, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I'm trying to say is, God is dope, and just like you, like I gotta speak on it. God is saying the same thing. I gotta speak on it. He wants to speak on some things in my life, and your life, and your life, and yours too. But seriously, and it's just when we begin to open that conversation, when we accept his invitation, because he's knocking on our hearts. He's knocking. He got something to say, but we got so much stuff blocked up, so much, you know, hate, unforgiveness, madness, all of the things that you haven't been real about yet. So if you would just take the time even now to be like, you know, I am mad about that. I did blame God for that, because if God is in control of everything, why is my life in shambles, God? You know what I'm saying?
A lot of those times, that's something trying to get your attention.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Like, hello?
Yeah.
There's something that needs to be handled.
Yeah, and can I help you?
Yeah, and I guess this is how I'm going to have to get your attention.
Yeah, and I didn't really like that, Michelle. I was just like,
I've always felt like when you're and this is what helped me get through my trials and tribulations, I always said to myself, when you hit rock bottom and you're all the way down, you don't have any other place to look but up.
she preaching.
Once you're down, you're like, help me. Like,
Pastor or
somebody help me. You're not going to have a choice. And no, it doesn't feel good when it's happening. Trust me, I've been there a couple of times, you know.
Yeah.
But I've always come out greater because I knew where to look for help. When I couldn't look around for help. When no one else can physically help me, I've always found a way by looking up.
Yeah, that's one of
And
my
that's what it's about.
favorite, one of my favorite scriptures. Like, the time I read the Bible, I didn't understand nothing about it. But like it started getting revealed to me, because I really just didn't get it. But it's Jeremiah 33:3, and it says, "Call to me, and I will answer you, and tell you great and unsearchable things that you know not." And that's what made God real to me. Because there used to be like a 5%er, there used to be Black Israelite, all kind of fun stuff you could be. I was always
You tried it?
Yeah, tried
Me
it.
too. I've tried things.
It's cool. And so the great thing was when I kind of bumped into this amazing situation, the truth about my life and why everything was the way it was revealed to me. It's sort of like the woman at the wells, like this lady, she's sleeping with mad dudes, and Jesus is kicking it, you know, he's at the well, and she's like, and you're not supposed to be talking to me. And he says to her basically like, you know, go get your husband. And she's like, I don't have a husband. You know, and he's like, yeah, you got 8. And she's like, oh, how you know how many people, you know,
Right.
kind of kicking it with. So he just kind of tells her about her life. So I had like that type of encounter, and I had things happen to me that are real to me. So right now, like if, just being silly, but being for real, if Cupid came in here and shot you in the toe, you know what I'm saying, with an arrow or a heart arrow. But you know what I'm saying, like, you know that that's real for you. So I just want people to know and connect and, you know, what's real to them. And it was real to me when he was, you know, revealed to me, but when he went over my entire life, out of everything that I searched, I never found that type of fulfillment. You know, I was running to a cup, I was running to money, I was running to relationships, I was running to control. But that fulfillment came, and so that's why I'm excited to know that everybody can receive that same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it is available to everyone.
Yes. So
Blessings are available to everyone, and that is, like, you got something to say,
Nah,
Mr.
you
Kenneth?
know it's crazy too, because
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm like, when I look back at some of the worst moments of my life, like, there's always been something great that came out of it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So like, even like today, like when I go through things, I'm like, all right, I might not understand what's gonna come of this.
Right.
But I know that there's something great gonna come of this. So, you know, it's the point now where I realize you can't even look at things in a negative light. It's like, okay, I don't know what you're trying to tell me, God, but I'm listening. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening. So yeah.
As bad as those dark times are, I truly believe that they're necessary, because how can you recognize the light if you don't know what it's like to be in the dark? You understand? So I've learned to respect the darkness. I don't like it.
But you grow from it.
But I grow from it. Right. It's a oh, check it out. She got the process. Plug.
Respect the process.
Respect the process. Trust the process. And that's what it's all about. So if you didn't learn anything from this conversation today, take away that we need to respect the process and trust the process. With that said, Lady Ty, would you like to give any shout outs and let the good people know about all the projects that you have going on? Because you wear so many hats that take process and things like that.
Yes. So just shout out to everybody that's listening. Shout out to the world. Shout out to everybody. That's the first thing. And shout out to you, Rochelle. Thank you for having me on. Honor. Shout out to shout out to the cameraman. Yeah, but just shout out to you. Shout out to everybody. And that's it, because it's really all about.
You don't want to miss no names.
Hey,
that was safe. I like that. That was safe.
Name here.
Yeah, everybody. Shout out. Oprah shout out.
And
You get one. You get one. Go ahead.
And shout out to hip hop. I mean, for real.
Okay.
Like, you know, shout out to hip hop. Shout out to I Gotta Speak on it, because this is important just to speak. And just overall, that's who the shout out is. But the projects that I'm working on are Prayer in Hip Hop. So on Facebook, it's called Prayer for Hip Hop. You can find that page, Prayer with the number 4 Hip Hop, and you can follow us. You can join in prayer. You can put up prayer requests for any artist that you have. To get in contact with me and kind of everything that I'm doing to keep up to date, you can actually go to my website, which is ladytythegreat.com, and that's spelled LadyTythegreat.com. I'm working on turning my actual first book into a screenplay and movie.
Hey.
So that's Daddy Issues, and it'll be a short film, probably before it'll be a play, to the short film. And I'm really excited because we just started working on that, and a lot of other projects coming up, but most importantly, I'm here to serve the people. So if you're listening to this podcast and you're in prison, you can reach out. You can email, you can connect into Rochelle, or you can connect in through my website. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, you can find me at Lady Ty the Great. And I'm just super excited just to serve. So if you need prayer, you need encouragement, you need uplifting, I don't care your religion, your sign, your whatever you got going on, I love you. And I'm just here to spread the love. So this has been great. This has been dope. And I look forward to everything that's going on. Projects I do have coming up is Act Now. That's one of the new ebooks I released. But when you go to the site, you can see a couple different things.
Oh, you got all of that stuff on the site?
Yeah, Hood Credit, Good Credit, and Prophetic Gear. So those of you that are actually...
What? Hood credit, good credit.
Yeah, how to go from Hood Credit
we gotta
to
talk about
Good
this.
Wow. Hood Credit to Good Credit. And shout out to my friend, Rochelle. Yes, because once I learn something, that's my thing. Once I learn something, I put everybody else on. Also, and something really good for you guys, it's a freebie. On YouTube, if you want to connect in, I have a series called Operation Greater. I do go once a year now to New York, and I do a seminar called Operation Greater, and I teach people how to write books, how to operate in their greatness, whether it's starting a podcast, how to begin their career in acting. But anything that I've ever learned, I share and I give it to people, because I believe that you give and it shall be given unto you.
We have that in common.
Yep. So I'm just here sharing that, and otherwise that's kind of really if you're interested in a prophetic gift, go to the site. But I kind of wear the word so I can be the word, and that's what I let you know that God loves you and you are amazing. So,
What about your IG?
oh yeah, my IG.
That's important.
Thanks. Yes,
'Cause
it's
you know
Lady.
people IG.
Yeah, Lady Todd the Great. So that's LadyTyTheGreat. And yeah, so I'm excited. Just know that I'm praying for you.
Yes, yes, we need that. We all need prayer. Mr. Canada, you have any shout outs this week?
Oh, man.
You like to play shy, you know what
Nah, I
I'm
mean,
saying?
I shout out to Lady Todd.
Oh,
That's what a real shout out gotta go to this week. I mean, yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to positivity. Shout out to a new year.
2019.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's gonna be some great things happening this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Well, all right then, people. So in closing, we just want to encourage everyone to keep themselves covered in prayer and surrounded by people who keep you lifted to help you navigate through 2019 as you head towards your 2020 vision. So go where the love is and show some love back. Most importantly, oh, I'm stumbling on my words and stuff. We want to thank you guys for showing us love. We appreciate all the support, and we thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. Now turn your light on and go out there and brighten someone else's day. Stay lit, y'all.